Doge is in the headlines. Mark Cuban was on the Ellen DeGeneres show on Tuesday, and he had a few things to say about the coin. Let's take a look.
Probably 2 years ago, people started talking about the meme online, okay, and started buying it. And probably within the last 6 months, the number of people buying it has just skyrocketed into the millions, and the value has gone up incredibly. And I'll give you an example. My son and I bought some for less than a penny. Jake, who's 11 years old, bought $30 worth, I think it was, for less than a penny. Then it went up to 6 cents. He bought a little bit more. Then it went up to 40 cents, and now it's about 26 cents. So the question everybody wants to know is Dogecoin a good investment? And here's the reason I got Jake into it. It's not necessarily the best investment you can make, but you can buy it on Robinhood, and signing up and trading on Robinhood is free. So that's one thing. The second thing is it's about 26 cents per Dogecoin. So if you go and spend $5, $10, $15, that's a better bet, better investment than buying a lottery ticket. And you know what? It could go up. And the second part about it is if it doesn't go up and you want to spend it, you can buy merchandise on the Maverick store, hopefully soon on the Ellen shop. So it's also becoming a digital currency, which is crazy if you think back to its origins. But as overall, when someone brings...
Okay, I'm not going to troll Mark for saying Dogecoin because sometimes I say some pretty silly things and no one says anything to me. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But it is pronounced Dogecoin.
But some
Mark
people pronounce it Dogecoin. It is a contentious question there. So
it is true. That's so cute.
I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah, in the early days, I think it was like 50-50 because the early meme when it was just a misspelling of the word doggy, I guess. And so some people pronounced it like that. So, yeah.
Naomi, I'm gonna kick this right to you because of the face you were making throughout that video. What are your thoughts on what Mark was saying?
Well, I think that people think of cryptocurrencies as these things that will last forever and they're immutable forever and, they're a sure thing. Like maybe Mark is thinking of this in terms of gold, right? Like is gold a good investment? Gold is a thing that's always going to exist. It's not going to disappear. Now, the thing with cryptocurrencies is they need active development. They need bug patches. They need constant vigilance. And Dogecoin has not had that. So there was a good period there where there were no developers on Dogecoin that I could see. Like a couple of years ago, I was looking into it and I was like, who is actively working on this? And I asked around and I couldn't find anyone who could tell me anyone who is actually actively working on this. This may have changed and maybe some devs have gotten back into the mix now. But the idea that these things like you can discover this asset and then be like, this is a good investment, it's always going to last. I really think people should push back against that narrative because cryptocurrency is a very different kind of asset that requires a network of vigilant, smart people looking at the code and constantly updating it and upkeeping it. But I'm going to throw this to you, Anna.
I just want to contest what you just said because, like, obviously the mass, the psychology of the mass crypto investor is totally different. It's funny. Recently, Joe Wiesenthal of Bloomberg wrote an op-ed in his newsletter, basically showing on a chart that Dogecoin has been a better investment than Bitcoin all along, through the last 7 years. If you only look on numbers, and this is what most people look at. We've been discussing this with Adam on the podcast recently, and he said an interesting thing. Adam Bilivin, our podcast editor, that people these days often have the win the lottery strategy in life, which means people are not that eager to chase a good job. They want to win a lottery, get that lucky money, and just go happy with their lives. And in this sense, it's only logical for them to ape into something like Dogecoin, whatever the technology is behind it. Why should they care? They see the numbers go up. They invest 1 cent, they get 20 cents back. It's awesome.
I'm going to push back on that a little bit because it's very short-term thinking, right? If we think about some of the dead chains out there that you could have said, this is a much better investment than Bitcoin, and then they died because they didn't have a use case. They didn't have a value. I'm not saying that Doge doesn't have a use case. Obviously, there are businesses accepting it now, but there are chains. I mean, Ethereum Classic, for example, like just kind of went dead for a long time because people left it. And a lot of my friends were like, well, it's exactly the same as Ethereum. You know, let's buy it. It'll be a great investment. It's like, has it been a great investment? Is that the best place for people to put their money? Because I feel like at the end of the day, people are going to leave Doge because it's not funny anymore or it's old. And you're going to have these bag holders that got into it hoping that they would be able to ride the train as well. And they're just left with an asset that has lost its value because people just don't care about it anymore. Like, I don't see what the cutting edge is of Doge that is going to make it a mainstay, but that's just my take there. I'll throw this. Sorry, Jen, I think that you were gonna add something there.
I was just going to add something to what Anna was saying. In the interview with Ellen, Mark said Doge is a better investment than a lottery ticket, which really speaks to what you were saying, Anna. But a lottery ticket is not an investment, and that was really sad for me to hear that he would say something like that. I mean, a lot of people look to Mark Cuban for advice. He's a smart man. He's made a lot of money, and to hear a statement like that on TV was kind of upsetting. But Zach, what did you think of the interview?
I don't know. Like, Doge is an assault on meaning and is about nihilism. And I just get in a dark place when I see stuff like this. Also, just talking about crypto is so cringe. Just watching that video, I was like, man, do we sound that cringe when we talk about crypto? Because I was like not inspired to talk about crypto after watching that. So anyway, Doge puts me in a sad, dark place where the nihilism starts flowing, and I just don't know what is meaning. Like, what is a good investment? Does it matter? I don't know. So
what is life?
Hello, darkness.
What's the worst topic, hello, NFTs or Doge?
Both are an assault on meaning.
I'm so sorry.
I should just give up and just embrace the nihilism, but it is hard to do.
Guys, you're inviting so many Doge lovers to come and hate on this video right now. They're going to be like, but my bags. And we're going to be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they would be, what do you mean a lottery ticket is not a good investment?